How to make a daily routine for yourself. Watching this, you might think to yourself, I already have a routine. Well, maybe it's just a little bit lackadaisical, and if you made it a little more structured, your life will change for the better. So let's dive in. So what I'm about to share with you is when I first sat down and wrote out my daily routine and what I wanted it to be, it actually transformed my life. And I am a motivational speaker. I get to go around the world doing keynote speeches in front of thousands of people, sometimes 10, but most of the time thousands. And I also get to entertain people. In order to develop this daily routine, I had to create something really interesting for myself, and I'm excited to share that with you. No matter what career you're in, this will be helpful. So number one, I want you to visualize for yourself how you want your day to go. Maybe sit down and start writing out just some ideas as to what would be good for you in terms of something very simple like waking up at the same time every day. That may sound so elementary, but truly it's a powerful thing. If you wake up at the same time every single day, no matter where you are in the world, your life will be so great because you'll have established a daily routine of going to bed at a good hour in order to wake up at the right hour. And so you've written down what time you want to wake up. Now, for example, I want you to consider for yourself what you're going to do with your food that day. Maybe you like to intermittent fast. Maybe you're going to jump in the ice bath. Maybe you're going to read some scripture or some great book. Maybe you're going to jump in the sauna and sit and sweat a little bit or do a workout right away. Maybe it's time with family, time to meditate and pray. Write it out for yourself as to what would look like the perfect morning. Just so you know, it's not going to happen right away. This is developing a habit. But at least writing out what you think would be the best way to start your day, that's how we create that daily habit and routine. Number two, do you have a commute to work? What do you do while you're driving? A lot of people I know listen to talk radio, or they might just listen to some music, and that's totally cool. In fact, on the way to come and film this video for you, I needed some tunes. I needed music so I could get all pumped up so I could deliver to you. That's what I was doing while I was driving here. Other times, I might listen to a really powerful podcast. The commute to work is a really fascinating place to put your mind into the right place before you get there. So if I'm going to perform somewhere, I need something to energize me. If I'm going on a long road trip, can I do something to learn, maybe a language or something I haven't listened to before, a book on Audible that I haven't opened yet? It's up to you, but your commute matters. And that's a lot of time in the car, most likely, that you could be spending doing something great while developing another daily habit and routine. So now, what if you don't have a commute because you work at home? Well, if you work at home, this is number three within your daily routine. You just need to make sure that you have specific places to do specific things. In other words, do you have an office space? Do you have a place where the laptop goes? Oftentimes, because of the pandemic or laziness, we get used to blurring the lines of our life with our family and our home and our work and all those things together, so we're never present ever at all. And yet, if we had defined the places in our home for where they should be, for example, I'm not going to work out with a treadmill in my bedroom. If I'm in a small apartment, I may need to do that, but I would probably find a way to close things off so it felt like a workout space. But in my home, we have a bedroom, and that's the bedroom. I try not to have the laptop on my bed and clack away all night or all day. I instead sit down at a chair. I have an office space. So think about for yourself the designated places around your home that if you do work from home or when you're coming back from work at the end of a work day, you can sit down, have those designated spots. This is where we eat food. Maybe not necessarily on the couch. That's where we sit and talk or we watch TV. There are designated spots throughout the house. This helps to create a greater daily routine. So for number four, I'd like you to ask the most successful people in your life what they do for their daily routine. And guess what? You're going to hear some crazy stuff. For example, I asked my friend Bo. Bo is the most fit, always looking for something to do guy I think I've ever met. In fact, when he and I travel and we go somewhere with our families, he wakes up at 5 a.m. every day and he'll literally swim through waves, sharks, and oceans before most people have even gotten their coffee. This guy never stops, and it's impressive, but he's someone I admire. So I asked him, what are your daily routines and habits? He told me about his morning rituals. He always does a workout. He wants to sweat early in the day before he gets into his day. He wants to do so many things up front. I thought to myself, well, I don't know if I want to do my workout that early. In other words, I like to wake up, have my nice meal with my family. I like to do my ice bath. I like to get in the sauna. I like to read and journal a little bit. And then later in the day, I like to do my workout in the afternoon. Balancing between what other people do and what works for you, that's the best way to establish your daily routine. So before I share the rest of the ways that you can do these daily routines, if you would, I would love for you to engage in the comments and type in for yourself what are some of your routines and what are some of the best things that you've done for yourself. So just type them in the comments and that would be awesome, and then we'll keep going with this video. So most people think about a daily routine and they only think about the morning. Oh my goodness, the morning is a miracle as Elrod says, but I'll tell you what, the morning is not the only time for a routine. You have your work and then you come home. Now, when you come home, what does that routine look like? You can establish something really special, especially if you have children or a roommate or somebody that you are partnered with and you get to live with. What does that routine look like for yourself? For me, because I have children that are still living in the home and my beautiful wife, it's a fun time because now I might either be coming back off the road or I might be coming out of my established office in my house where there's a door that I close. And I come out of the door and now it's time for me to, that's literally my commute from this room to that room. Then here's my family. Okay, so now here's all my children. The routine for me has been, how can I keep the promise to be fully present with these people? You see, if I bring with me my phone, my laptop, all of my work, if I bring that over from this space to them, I'm breaking a promise to myself. And so my promise in my routine with my family is to be fully present. What's yours? For me, making sure that I'm doing the best to be present with them is important. Now, if that includes bringing my phone to show them a meme or to share something funny I saw, then I'll do that. But I like to establish in my daily routine that I have at least one touch per day per family member, meaning I want to send them something, say something, do something for them that is a one touch per day. That's part of my daily routine. It's very important to me. And so my wife, she prefers the back rub. Okay, so if I walk in the kitchen and there she is making dinner, I start rubbing her back. Hey, you're the best. I love you. And then my daughter, she comes in and I've already sent her a text telling her how wonderful she is that day. And then she gives me a hug. And now, I'm not saying everything in our life is roses and fun like this all the time, but making sure that I'm leaving that one touch per day with each child. Whether it's going out and shooting baskets with my son, throwing the lacrosse ball with my other son, or sitting at the piano and practicing something with my other child. Every single one of them have the touches that they're going to get from dad. That's part of my daily routine. Number 6 is service and dinner time around the table. Now, a lot of families are really busy. We have teenagers now, so we hardly see them. And we're glad that when they were young, we had the daily routine of sitting at the dinner table and eating together, serving one another, helping around the neighborhood, doing things in our church and our community to be together. But always having dinner around the dinner table became a huge daily habit. It's still something we work towards having, and sometimes it only happens on a Sunday with all of us together. But every single day, at least with somebody, I'm sitting at dinner together. Now for number 7, let's talk about our bedtime routine. We've talked morning, we've talked work time, we've talked coming home from work. What about your bedtime routine? Oh, this one is also kind of controversial. Why? Because so many of us have our phone right here and our watch right there and our iPods, our AirPods right here, our headphones. We have everything right here, and then we have a TV in front of us. It's just how we are. Everything's electronic, I get it, but imagine if we could maybe put it just a little bit further away so we don't get all those electrodes and waves coming at us all night. So we don't have the blue light shining in our eyes all night. I mean, this is something I'm still establishing for myself because for years I've slept with the phone right next to my head. And so if we can get it to where we can say, this is where the place lives for our phone. This is where my laptop goes. This is where my headphones go. That will help us in establishing a nice bedtime routine. Another thing that I would recommend is to turn off the television about a half an hour to an hour before you go to bed. Maybe meditate, take a warm bath or a shower, these types of things that calm us down. Listen to lighter music, maybe classical instead of the rock and jam that you need on the way to the commute for work. Now we're listening to different music. Now we're wrapping things up. We have our meditation. We might journal what our promises were kept that day, and then we rest our head on our pillow and go to sleep. So the final piece I'm going to share about the daily routine is to let others know what you're trying to establish in your life as part of your routine. For example, when it's summertime, my kids are trying to, they're trying to kill us with an endurance test. They're all teenagers. They're like stayed out till 1 or 2 in the morning, no matter the curfew. And maybe that says a lot about my parenting skills, but I'll tell you, then I have to be up at 6 for work. I remember establishing with my children and talking to them and saying at the dinner table where we established this routine of being together, I said, guys, you get the summer off. You get to play. You have a great time. One of the things I need some sleep. And so I hope that you'll respect that. And I hope that you understand that I need you to be quiet after 11 o'clock. If you please will be quiet, that would be helpful. Allowing others to know what our routines are, whether it's all the way in the beginning of the day and here's what I'm going to do for my workout and get ready for the day, or my commute, or when I come home from work, I want us all to eat together when I go to bed. All of those things matter. Tell the people that you love, the people you live with, what your daily routines are. They'll help you establish them and keep them. And that's part of the promise. My friend, I hope that this has been helpful. And thank you so much for joining me here. What I would love for you to do, if you would be to go to jasonhewlett.com/ICM. The ICM process is so fascinating. There's a worksheet there that can help you to identify, clarify, and magnify what your daily routine can be. I want you to just identify for yourself the things that you really want your life to look like. Clarify with the other people that you live with, that you work with, as to how you can establish those, and then magnify it. The link is going to be in the description below. And I hope that you'll subscribe and like and all the things that we do online here. But I just want you to know I appreciate you joining me here. I hope that as you establish your daily routines, this will get easier as you identify, clarify, and magnify your promise. I'm Jason Hewlett. My best to you.